God, dog, I'm a motherfucking idiot. I went live on YouTube and the video unlisted. I just changed it to public. I hope I don't gotta make a new live for people to be able to see what's going on. Hey, Kamari, how's it going? Arden, Peyton, David Pierce, what's going on? Hey, Peyton said we ain't gonna talk about what happened yesterday. I was able to get it situated. I trimmed everything out the motherfucking video overnight. Left both my computers plugged in. Used the unchiseled Adonis computer. Grabbed one of my old college computers just so I can go and try to cut out all the segments simultaneously, which is extremely tough to pull off. But luckily, we was able to avoid with no copyright strike. Oh shit, YouTube can't see me. All right. There we go. YouTube can see me. All right. I'm bright as hell. I probably shouldn't have wore something that got this text. It's illuminating off of my doggone shirt. What part of the game is this? I'm out here glistening up this motherfucker. Hold on. Can I lower? Why am I glistening up this motherfucker? God, dog. Now let me. He said, "Woo, can't that ain't it? Oh my! This look trippy as hell. Look, I'm straight out of a video game. God damn. I should have been playing around with these controls for a while. I don't mind the darkness. I show up in the light. All right, now that look kind of weird. That look kind of weird. God, dog, this interesting right here. All right, I'm messing with all the doggone controls. Now we black and white. We back in slavery time. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around. Oh man, let's get some more color up in here. I don't know why I should be orange. I'm not orange. I'll make myself a little brown. And get rid of the white balance. Is that what I gotta illuminate here? I can't even. God damn. All right, let's just put that right back. We're gonna leave it like this. I'll figure it out afterwards. What's going on, y'all? How is it going? How are you feeling about your teams? Did your teams win this past weekend, or on Monday or Thursday? Are you feeling okay about the way that your team had, gone out there and performed? Tiger said, did I see the boxing match? Are you talking about what happened to Anthony Joshua? I only seen the final 2 rounds. I got to go back and watch the full fight. But my God, it's unfortunate this brother lost. He just fucked himself out of a bag. It reminds me of what happened with Tyson and Holyfield back in 1991. Oh, no, it was 90, I believe. When did he lose to Buster Douglas? 91 or 90? Can't remember, but he was supposed to fight against Holyfield, but there was issues. Don King, I blame you. So he had to beat Buster Douglas, and then he probably would have messed around and saw Holyfield in the early 90s, but that didn't happen because he messed around and took an L. Oh, my heavens. All right. We ready to get into all the games? Because we are going from Thursday night straight until Monday night. As we always do it, once we address the game, we are not addressing it again. Probably briefly if somebody were to pop in or super chat it. But, all right, Thursday night football. Where are my Panthers fans? Congratulations. Round of applause in the chat room for the goddamn Carolina Panthers. Walked away with a damn W. Good for them. They got a huge win on Thursday Night Football. My God, did the Texans look absolutely brutal. Outside of that one drive at the tail end of the first half, they did a whole lot of nothing. The only downside of this particular game is you lost Christian McCaffrey, you lost J.C. Horn, and now you're going to have to move forward without the 2 of them. At least Christian McCaffrey's coming back at one particular point, but J.C. Horn, I think he's done for the rest of the year. DB said you love my videos. I appreciate that. Carolina, oh yeah, War Dog said, is the Monday night commentary coming? Yes, I have it already set to premiere tonight at 10 p.m. You guys should have got a notification already. But if you guys haven't already seen it, it's on the channel. So if you have to open up a link, or I should say open up a tab ahead of time so you know that you can tune in. It's going to be premiering in 4 hours, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So it will be premiering. If you go to my page, it should be there, said premiere. So if you go to, click on the videos tab, it should be there. I don't know why YouTube's not giving up notifications, but it should. So it's coming up momentarily. CJ Henderson, interesting. They picked him up. Well, good for them. But I'll say this for the Panthers. They look very impressive at 3-0, but now without CMC, I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. But as it pertains to the game, the defense got after Davis Mills all day. There was only 4 sacks, but it easily could have been 10. The same sort of performance you saw happen from the Browns D-line against Chicago, that's the exact same thing that could have transpired against Houston. What was 4 sacks could have easily became 10. My God, the Panthers looked very, very good, very impressive, but I'm concerned moving forward with the loss of Christian McCaffrey. But I will say this, Sam Darnold looks very good. Does not look like this brother is a fluke throughout the year. No, Gray, you're not that late. I just started. So I like the way that they look. Money Moore said we learned the Jets are bums. Well, we already knew that. Where's Alberto Del Rio when you need him? But of course, you already know that. Indeed it is. But Carolina Panthers walked away with a W. They remain undefeated, and I'm curious to see what things are going to look like down the line. For Houston, they desperately need Tyrod Taylor back. They desperately need that brother back, and I can't even lie to you, dog. I don't know how long he's out. I'm not too sure how long he is out. But without Tyrod Taylor, without a legitimate quarterback over there, it's brutal. Because let's be honest, the offensive line isn't in a situation to where they can open up those holes consistently for Mark Ingram, Phillip Lindsay, and David Johnson. It's not happening. So they better go and see if they can pick somebody up. Hell, I'd say call Cam if you have to. Get Cam on the phone. Get somebody. Because, oh, wow, Tyrod's out for a month? Yeah, call somebody right now. Because the Texans aren't completely atrocious to where they can't at least compete. They're not completely atrocious to where they can't compete. I think they can compete, win, a division. I don't know about that. Get a playoff spot? Not necessarily. But you could at least be competitive throughout the first 3 months, first 2 months, first half of the season. Mess around and rack up maybe 3 out of 6 some wins throughout the first month and a half, but they need a quarterback that's competent to help them. So as far as I'm concerned, right now it's not looking good for them. Houston took a huge L on Thursday Night Football. Carolina moved on to 3-0. Mahmoud, before on, it said J.C. Horn being hurt might have hurt them. Indeed it does. Indeed it does. It's really going to hurt them because remember, Carolina is already, if I'm not mistaken, they had another injury to their secondary as well outside of J.C. Horn. So they starting to lose some depth back there. So it's not looking the best for them. So I would really hope down the line they could keep the same consistency. But this is now solely on the shoulders of Sam Darnold. That defense can play. They're no slouches. But as we know, we saw it last year with Pittsburgh. You can have a great defense. If your offense isn't putting up points and you're getting 3 and outs after 3 and outs and 3 and outs and 4 and outs and 5 and outs, and now that defense is on the field upwards of 40 minutes, damn near sometime 45 minutes, you're going to have some mental lapses and you will lose football games. So it's only a matter of time. I can only hope Sam Darnold can make it happen and sling that football. Let me say this last thing about Carolina. Robbie Anderson needs to step up. We know DJ Moore is an absolute dog and that brother can play, but Robbie Anderson needs to make a motherfucking appearance this season. Don't talk about the touchdown he had against New York and all the other stuff. This man has been unable to give you a gang of receptions. I don't know why. I feel like this man can only run one route. Where the hell is Robbie Anderson? Can he do something? Do something. Because Sam Darnold's really going to need you. So for the love of God, Robbie Anderson needs to do something for Carolina to go out there because CMC being out is really going to hurt them. CMC is really going to hurt them. Next up, out in Buffalo Wild Wings, you had the Bills demolishing the Washington football team. There's no sound. What do you mean there's no sound? You can't hear me? Def's Nightmare said there's no sound. You can't hear me? I can hear me. There's no sound. Y'all can hear me? You might have muted yourself, brother. Yeah, they can hear me on hot mic. I can hear me on YouTube. Yeah, I can hear me. I think you might have. Yeah, you might have muted yourself, brother. They can hear me. You might have muted yourself. You gotta make sure you don't press M on the goddamn keyboard. You might have muted yourself. But as it pertains to up next, what happened in Buffalo, it was straight up necrophilia. Straight up necrophilia. Let me tell you something about Washington, okay? Outside of those two drives, when they went down the field and they scored, then on the ensuing kickoff, Buffalo forgot to actually take the football. They let it bounce, right? Then Washington I think they didn't score until the final, possession of the doggone game. But those two possessions was the only thing that Washington did all day. That was it. That was the only thing Washington did all day. The Washington Monument had more production in one day than the damn, football team did on that field. It was atrocious. Buffalo dominated them. After they plugged their controller back in, because they led 21-0, and then they said, yo, we're going to take a bathroom break. And then Washington scored and then had that other touchdown. And then after that, the Bills said, wait a minute, we back where we was at. Yeah, let's shut these motherfuckers down. And the necrophilia never stopped. It never stopped. It went from a 21-0 game to a 21-14 game, and then Buffalo done made it a 43-14 game in no time. Look at the Buffalo possessions after Washington had cut the deficit to a score. They punted, then Washington did a 3-and-out. They went down the field, they kicked a field goal. Went down the field before halftime, kicked a field goal. Opening possession of the second half, touchdown. Next possession, field goal. Then they punted the football on a 3-and-out. Touchdown, end of the game. They scored every drive with the exception of one. Well, two, because you had the immediate one. So they played spectacular football. Spectacular football from the Bills. For Washington, I got some questions about that defense because last year they played at a way better level than they did this year. So far through 3 games, Washington's defense does not look threatening at all. They got to play better. They have got to play better. They didn't get a single sack on Sunday. Not a single sack. Washington's identity is their defense, and their defense didn't show up. Not a single sack, only 6 quarterback hits. Only 6 quarterback hits. Did Chase Young had 1 quarterback hit, Payne had 2. And then it was Jonathan Allen with 1, Montez Sweat with 1, Cameron Curl with 1, and then that's pretty much it. They did nothing. Josh Allen was barely under duress all day. You can't perform like that. Heineke threw 2 interceptions. Turns out this brother signed with Bud Light. I didn't notice. Josh Allen, 32 of 43 with 4 TDs. Emmanuel Sanders finding pay dirt twice. Cole Beasley with 11 catches, 98 yards. The Bills offense wasn't slowing down at all. At all. Yoon said Bills Mafia broke many tables in the victory after Sunday. Indeed, they did. They put the damn Washington football team through tables during the game. I saw the Dudley boys out there on the field. The football team, Anthony said, I thought their identity was the football team. Well, there it is. But I thought their identity was their defense. They did nothing. They did nothing. Ron Rivera, I'm not saying I'm giving up on Heineke yet. I'm not giving up on Heineke yet. But come late October, if, let's say, Fitzpatrick isn't prepared to come back yet, Heineke is still struggling, as crazy as it sounds, because we haven't seen, Mans play very productive, you might want to give Cam a call. The only reason why I say that is Ron Rivera knows Cam, knows how to use Cam. They have that relationship. You have a defense that's there. You've got a number 1 receiver in McLaurin, regardless of the fact that the brother's not 6'4", because Cam likes to overthrow people. You might want to call Cam. I still believe in Cam. For Washington, they got to figure it out. Buffalo looks like they're starting to build that momentum. All right, they shook off that Steelers loss from week 1. They just won 2 consecutive games. Buffalo's building momentum. But Washington, they got to figure out what they're doing. Fitzpatrick or Exactly. Illmatic, exactly. It's between Fitzpatrick or Heineke, and we all know how Fitzpatrick get down. He looked good, And then he damn near looked like the worst quarterback in the world. He's got McLaurin. You got somebody like I think the two different Cams. No, I think one of the Cams is gone. You got Logan Thomas that's there, who's decent as well. Get somebody in there, bring in Cam or something, because Washington, they're in the NFC East, so you'll always have a chance to compete at least for the division. All you need to do is compete for the division. To hell with the number 1 seed, 2 seed, because we all know the NFC East going to mess around and be the 4th seed anyway. All you need is a ticket to the dance, and you can get that in the NFC East. Just make sure that you're in a situation where you're not like 5 games behind, and we only in week 3. Anthony put 2 on it. Much love, brother. Next up, the slaughtering of Justin Fields. My God. My God. First and foremost, I'll say this. With all due respect, Jason Peters, it's time to make that phone call, brother. It's time to make that phone call. I think you have to put up the cleats, man, because Myles Garrett made Jason Peters look like a rookie on Sunday. Jason Peters is a Hall of Famer. He made that brother look like a rookie on Sunday. Nagy, the play calling for Matt Nagy was abysmal anyway. But the fact that the Bears were only able to conjure up 50-some total yards, 47 yards total offense, 47 yards total offense, 1 passing yard. But Justin Fields threw 68 yards through the air. No. He got sacked for a total of 67 yards. 1 passing yard is locked. 1. The Browns had 9 sacks. Myles Garrett had 4.5 by himself. By himself. The offensive line wasn't even out there, bruh. It was brutal to watch this man try to go and play football, man. It was brutal. Not only was it 9 sacks, there was 15 quarterback hits. 15. This man got fucked up. Like, literally, you would have thought it was boxing out there. There's no doubt in my mind, Justin Fields probably had to sleep in the freezer. Forget traveling with ice on him. He had to sleep in the freezer. That brother spent so much time in the freezer, King Cole thought he was his father. That's how hard Justin Fields got fucked up on Sunday. That's a ball right there. I should write that down. That brother got his ass whipped. He got his ass whipped. There was virtually no run game to help him. David Montgomery had 10 carries for 34 yards. Fields couldn't run nowhere. Andre, it was a legal lynching. It was a legal lynching. That brother was getting his ass whipped. Mahmoud, put 4 on us. It kind of like how Tim Couch made his debut. Shit. Pain, bro. O-line didn't show up at all. Everybody was getting through. And then to make matters worse, on the other side of the ball, because Cleveland, or I should say Chicago, defensively played a decent first half, but the offense couldn't do anything. Chicago actually played a decent first half with their deep, because Khalil Mack got himself a couple sacks. They were breaking up some passes here and there. They got to Baker Mayfield a few times, because Baker got sacked 5 times as well. It's not like the damn Bears offense was out here performing, or I should say the Browns offense was performing at a high clip. Baker got hit 6 times, and 5 of them was for a sack. But the Chicago offense was so goddamn abysmal, they ain't do shit. Look at the drives that Chicago had on the field, right? After the opening possession, where Cleveland went down the field and had a turnover on downs, right? On 10 plays, right? Well, they didn't really go down the field. They damn near, they didn't even make it to they didn't even make it past midfield. But Chicago got a field goal on a short field, right? Then it was a 3-and-out, another 3-and-out, a 5-and-out that included a sack. Then the end of the half, right? Opening possession of the second half, 3-and-out. Another 3 and out. You got 9 plays and a field goal, right? Let's go down the field. Woo! It's only 13-6. It's still a 1-score game, Windy City. We can win. Cleveland scores. I believe that was on the Kareem Hunt 27-yard run. 4 plays and a punt. 3 plays and a punt. A turnover on downs. That ended in a sack. You can't play football like that. You can't play football like that. Albert for 5 on said, keep up the great work, brother. Can't wait for your Steelers play to play my Packers on Sunday afternoon. I'll be joining Hot Mike later on today. I appreciate that. Gray said if Justin Fields gets hurt, it'll ruin him, just like what happened with RG3, no O-line, injuries, and age. If the O-line isn't fixed, Justin will have a short career, and that's the front office fault. Look what happened to Joe Burrow. I talked about it all through the commentary series last year, and I said it's only a matter of time before Burrow get hurt. And guess what? When he tore his damn ACL, when that brother had to be gone for the rest of the season, it's the O-line's fault that happened. Distraught. Put 5 on and say Eagles continue to piss me off. No matter who is the coach, Miles Sanders never gets at least 20 carries, and that's bullshit that he didn't get the ball. Because a few times that he touched the ball yesterday, that brother out there looking electric. Moved the chains damn near every time he touched the ball. Why is he not getting touches? For the love of God, I don't understand why the hell that they kept having situations where it was just Jalen Hurts trying to run the football. That's dumb, but we're going to get to it. Foamy 99, put 5 on and say he's saying the Bears D who wants daddy's belt. All I know is the Bears, they got their ass whipped. And if Dennis Green was alive, I'm pretty sure he'd be somewhere on the mic saying the Bears are who we thought they were. That's why Cleveland took the damn field. And if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. Because they kings of garbage. They are who we thought they were. And they let Justin Fields get his ass whipped on the field. It was brutal out there, man. Absolutely brutal. Moving on as the Cleveland Browns move on to 2-1. Baltimore and Detroit. Before I even talk about anybody else on Baltimore, I just have to say this about Hollywood Brown. Your hands are just for decoration, brother. You got to try to figure out who activated the Reaper Death seal on your hands for why you dropped 2 touchdowns and in a pass that probably would have resulted in a touchdown because you fast as hell, brother. But why are your hands just for decoration? Hollywood Brown had 3 terrible drops. Terrible drops. Before I talk about anybody else in Baltimore, Hollywood Brown, put your motherfucking head back down, brother. You need to play better. Bottom line. Because what do they say now? Somebody is selling or they sold. You need your ass whipped. You need your ass whipped, Hollywood Brown. Congratulations to Mark Andrews. Finally had a productive game this season. Congratulations. Lamar Jackson, hell, down the stretch, you was able to get the job done converting on a 4th down. There was a delay of game that wasn't called. That was clearly a delay of game, but for whatever reason, the referee's eyes are just for decoration. They can't see. I'm legally blind. I cannot see, says the referees. But for Detroit, y'all did this to yourselves. And I'll get to Tucker. But you guys did it to yourself. Because like I've been saying for years, Detroit can't play a 60-minute football game. For whatever reason, they'll play. If Detroit has a good first half, if you place your bet on Detroit, get ready to be disappointed. They have a bad first half. Get excited. It's a possibility they can come back. Kel Z, put 2 on and say Hollywood Brown became Bollywood Brown that game. Ain't that the truth? Detroit can't play a full football game. It's always one half or the other. Can you put together 4 quarters, please? Can you put together 4 quarters, please? Detroit played a magnificent second half. Magnificent second half. Because they were trailing 10-0 going into halftime, right? Baltimore messes around. First possession, they get themselves a field goal. What does Detroit do? Down the field, touchdown, hello. Down the field, touchdown, hello. Down the field, field goal. 3 possessions for Detroit in the second half. They scored every single time. Every single time they scored. Jared Goff looked poised, confident. Those guys were playing football. And I said, wait a minute. They look good. But when I saw the Ravens got the football back, I said, shit. I don't know if Detroit going to be able to hold them. And guess what? They put them in a situation where it's 4th and 19. 4th and 19 for the game. And you give up a 36-yard completion to Sammy Watkins. How? Megatron curse. To hell with the Megatron curse. It's the Bobby Lane curse. That's for the elderly fans out here. The Bobby Lane curse. Detroit been cursed ever since Bobby Lane left for the Steelers. That's how long Detroit been cursed. 4th and 19, you give up a 36-yard conversion. How, bro? You do it to yourself. You do it to yourself. And then we got to talk about the history-making kick. Justin Tucker, let's be honest. I talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. Adam Vinatieri is the greatest kicker of all time because of his Hall of Fame kicking moments. Adam Vinatieri has the most clutch moments as a kicker in NFL history. But the most consistent kicker to have ever graced the field with his feet is Justin Tucker. It's Justin Tucker. That brother will go down. I'm telling you right now, had Vinatieri not have all of those moments, if he didn't have those Super Bowl winning kicks, those clutch playoff winning kicks, those regular season victory formation ceiling kicks, Justin Tucker would go down as the greatest of all time. I can promise you. And Tucker can play for however long he wants until he wants to go into a career in the opera. Armand put 5 on and said, how about them Bills, baby? Josh Allen for MVP? He's definitely in the running. But Justin Tucker, if this man plays for 23 years like Vinatieri did, Vinatieri played for 57 years. Vinatieri was actually in the barbershop when Albert Anastasia got killed in Manhattan in 1957. Vinatieri was there. Would you believe he was 76 years old at that time? It's crazy. But had Vinatieri not have all of those Hall of Fame moments, we talking about Justin Tucker as the greatest kicker of all time. We talking about Justin Tucker as the greatest kicker of all time. It's crazy, bruh. Justin, no. The Browns aren't criminally underrated because people are talking about the Browns representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. They're not underrated at all. People were talking about the Browns possibly going to the Super Bowl this season. So last I checked, if somebody says your team is, possibility of going to the Super Bowl, they are not underrated by any metric. The people who call the Browns underrated, they're not watching football. People who call the Browns overrated not watching football. I still feel like the Browns going to lose them 50-50 games. We only in week 3. So I got to see how things, play out. XD Productions, put 3 on it. Much love. But right now, the Browns they're a top 10 football team. Browns are a top 10 football team. Did I talk about the Raiders yet? No, I did not. The Browns are good. And this is the thing about football that I love. You're a little patient. Some organizations will turn themselves around. Mahmood put 2 on and said, occasional hands brown. Ain't that the truth? But that's all I got to say about the Ravens. It's more about the Lions than it is about the Ravens. The Lions lost this football game. They found a way to lose. And that's the problem that I've had with the Lions for years. The Lions, the Chargers, the Falcons. Those 3 teams, for whatever reason, find a way to lose a football game. The Chargers this year, I hope things are different. But those 3 teams over the course of the last 20 years have found ways to lose football games. It gets to the point where it starts to feel as if the game is fixed. Like, how do you lose this way? It don't make sense. Captain OBJ put 3 on it. Said, can't wait for the Steelers to play the Chargers. It's going to be on Sunday Night Football, but I won't be able to watch that game live because I'm going to Survivor Series in Barclays Center. Gabo put 2 on it. Said, how do I think the Finns are going to do? I'll talk about that in a little bit. Up next, Titans and the Colts. And so far, I've talked about Carolina and Houston, Washington and Buffalo, Cleveland and Chicago, Baltimore and Detroit. But here's my problem with the Colts. Again, the play calling is abysmal. Second, you can't keep settling for field goals. You're not going to win games. If you got a fantasy team and you're looking for a kicker, pick up Rodrigo Blankenship, please. That is a guaranteed at least 3 field goals every single game because the Colts cannot find the end zone. And please release Marlon Mack. Set that brother free. Set that brother free. XD Productions put 3 on us. I forgot to add something, but Vikings are dangerous. Whoo, I don't know yet. I don't know yet about the Vikings. Vikings find ways to lose football games too. Lord Reven the Redeemed put 100 on it. God damn. Said, who they? I hope the Steelers would win so we can get rid of Zach Taylor. His play calling at Chicago was terrible. Also, you're criminally underfollowed. Easily one of the most entertaining sport YouTubers around. I appreciate that, and congratulations to your Cincinnati Bengals walking away with a W. That's interesting that you don't like Zach Taylor. I thought, he just needs a little bit more time to get himself acclimated into, the role with the right pieces around him. But Cincinnati, I like what they got going on. I just think they need Tyler Boyd has to take a bigger step forward because I think if Jamar Chase continues to play the way that he's playing, T. Higgins gets healthy because he didn't play this past game, but he becomes a solidified number 2, and Tyler Boyd becomes like a Steve Breston kind of situation where you got a consistent at least 60, 70 yards out of him, them motherfuckers can be scary, man. But I appreciate you, dog. I appreciate you. But for Indianapolis, this is another situation in which these motherfuckers cannot, under any circumstances, finish a drive. I do not understand why Indianapolis can't find the end zone. It don't make sense. They started out the game with a 3-and-out. After that, it was a 4-play punt. They got themselves a touchdown. 3-and-out again. They ended the the half. They ended the half with a field goal. Of course, he was in a situation, time constraint, you couldn't do it, right? Then, opening drive of the second half, they get all the way down to the 9-yard line. First and goal from the 9. They never moved an inch. They ran they threw the football 3 straight times. Now, granted, maybe they're looking at the analytics. Because what happened the last few times they give the ball to Jonathan Taylor inside the goddamn red zone. He fails to find the end zone. So it's like, all right, we're just going to throw the football. That's not working. Frank Reich needs his ass whipped. They can't figure out their damn red zone offense. Another game, they failed to score in the red zone. It's brutal. Then they have another punt. They go back down the field again. Guess what? First and goal from the 7. Carson Wentz pass. A Nyheim Hines run. Carson Wentz pass. They kick another field goal from the 5-yard line. Brutal, bruh. Y'all doing it to yourselves. Let's go down the field again. This time they had to kick a field goal and Blankenship just messed around and missed. How many times are y'all going to fail in the red zone? Until Indianapolis get this figured out, they're going to continue to lose games. They're going to continue to lose games. Aaron put 5 on and said, do I think the Chiefs would bounce back? Absolutely they will. Come on now. Look at the games that the Chiefs lost and how they lost. They lost in that fourth quarter. I'm not concerned about the Chiefs at all, and nobody should be. Nobody should be. If you're overlooking the Chiefs, you're bugging. If you're underlooking the Chiefs, you're wilding. You're wilding. Blue Dragon put 5 on. Said, greetings from Switzerland. My Seahawks are weak. What do you think? I'll get to them in a little bit. This game had less to do with the Tennessee Titans and more to do with the Indianapolis Colts because this was another game that they should have won. The Colts should be 2-1, arguably 3-0. They do it to themselves. They find ways to lose football games. Ryan Tannehill threw 2 bad interceptions. The Colts should have turned both of them sumbitches into points, but that wasn't the case. Derrick Henry, another 100-yard game. Tannehill played like utter garbage. He did throw 3 touchdowns, but he did not play a good game at all. At all. There's no reason why they shouldn't have won this doggone game, bruh. They did it to themselves. They did it to themselves. The Colts are brutal, bruh. This was literally a game. Tennessee said, yo, take the game, Indy. Take the game. And Indianapolis fails to score in the red zone. Until Frank Reich gets that together, get the fuck out of here, man. KT Chris, can the shirts no skins bounce back on Atlanta choke job? Absolutely they can. Jalen said you agree, but you think the Titans would have still won? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. But Indianapolis can't be putting themselves in a situation where on three straight games, you failed in the red zone twice. That's crazy. That's crazy. Michael Bafavo said fans always counting on the next season. Not enough Viagra in the world for us to rise up. Well, God, dog. Shit. But next up, let's talk about the AFC West. We got the Chargers and the Chiefs. And now go Chargers, go. Huge win. Huge win. And I've said this time and time again. The Chiefs are the most score-irrelevant team in the NFL. And once again, 4 turnovers. That final interception from Mahomes late in the game, that was a difference maker. To hell with the 2 fumbles and the no-look interception early in the game. To hell with that. Because I guarantee you, if Mahomes don't throw that late interception, the Chiefs probably mess around and win this game. Mind you, and Tony Romo was saying it as well, I think, on commentary. When Justin Herbert threw that touchdown to Mike Williams on the left-hand side of the end zone, it was 1st and goal. Play it safe. Don't give Mahomes a chance to touch the football. Don't even give him a chance to touch the football. When I saw the Chargers score, I said, shit, they scored too early. I started feeling like it was about to be Green Bay and San Francisco just a few hours earlier. I said, oh, no, they going to give the ball back to Mahomes with, what was it, a minute and something seconds remaining? How much time was left? They was going to give it back to Case. No, it was like 30 seconds remaining. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Don't do that. But luckily, it worked out in their favor. It worked out in their favor. I got concerned. I said, why the hell would you go and try to score on the very first play? Play it safe, try to run it and kick the field goal to win. But it worked out in their favor. They left a lot of time on the clock. But it worked out in their favor. Mahomes got to stop with that no-look shit. That first interception, why? Why? Now, granted, the receiver, it touched your hands. You got to catch the football. But you could have made a much better, calculated, conservative pass. Well, no, Will Simmons, they did need a touchdown, but the Chargers did need a touchdown, but they were in a situation where you don't got to rush that. You could take your time. Hell, they could have kicked the field goal, actually, because it was a tie game. They didn't necessarily need a touchdown. They could have took their time. That no-look INT was so dumb. I didn't understand that. Old school. Put 2 on. Said I didn't say it, so I didn't say it, so you will. Oh, Henry. But that no-look interception was so dumb. Relax. Calm yourself and give the ball. Just give the ball to your receiver. Ironic said you lose games when you try that super smart stuff, get the points, and believe in the studs you got on defense. Correct. You are. Had this been against any other team, I agree with you 110%. I always say take the points. But it's because it's Patrick Mahomes and that Chiefs offense. You can't even give them a sliver of a window because we've seen it time and time again. They are comeback masters at this point. Mahomes got like 10 come from behind freaking comeback. I think he has the fastest in his 3 years starting. I think he has the most come from behind victories in such a small period. Like, it's ridiculous. Every time they behind, it's like, yo, you just going to sit there like, yeah, it's only a matter of time before they get going. Like, it's crazy. It's really, that's the only reason. They're the exception to the rule for me. They're the only exception to the rule for me. Jacob, a 5-1, said, Jonnu Smith hands are just for decoration. Pats would have won or made it a close game if he didn't drop those 3 passes. I'm going to get to that really soon. In fact, I'm going to get to that next. But, good kudos over there to the Los Angeles Android Chargers. They jumped out to a very good lead. Well, not very, I wouldn't say very good lead. They was only up 14-0. I was hoping that they would have scored in the third quarter. They did not, and then Kansas City messed around and took the lead. But nevertheless, they was able to walk away with the W. Mike Williams, 2 huge catches, 2 huge touchdowns. On the ground, I think the Chargers need to figure out a run game. I know they paid Austin Eckler, and he may be black as much as he is white, so he's showcased to you every weekend. That's how the white man plays guitar. But he needs to be much more consistent on the ground. He needs to be more consistent on the ground, and I need to see what they're going to do during the mid-season towards the late end of the season sort of situation, because I know Herbert can play. I know he can play. Give him a run game, though. Give him a run game, though. That's all I got to say about the Chargers. For the Chiefs, I'm not slightly concerned. I think they can turn things around. Defensively, they gotta get it together. I think offensively, I'm not concerned for them. Defensively, they've got to figure out an identity because this ain't it. This is back-to-back game. Oh shit, 3 straight games. That defense ain't even here, bruh. They defense not even here. They really gotta get it together. They really got to get it together because this ain't it. When is Frank Clark coming back? Because the defensive line, Chris Jones and company, they ain't doing it. They are not doing it. So one last time for the road, and now go Chargers, go! Congratulations on a huge win. Next up, the New Orleans Saints, led by Jameis Winston, done walked into Star Foxborough, took on the Lolly-Lule-Lo, and gave them a vicious L. Mac Daddy Jones had 3 picks and including a pick 6. EDB is the sickest. Put 2 on, says Seahawks are in shambles. Their defense is cheese. Well, ain't that the truth? But here's the first thing about the Patriots. First and foremost, Jonnu Smith, your hands are just for decoration. Number 2, Josh McDaniels' play calling really needs to improve. Really needs to improve. My God, you have to figure out how to freaking figure out Mac Jones. Like, we are approaching the 4th week of the season. It's time to figure out how to utilize your quarterback. Moreover, the run game did you absolutely no favors. Big Mike said, why do I call him Lolly-Lule-Lo? Go watch Metal Gear Solid. I believe the first time that you hear it in earlier games, but I believe it was Sons of Liberty. So if you go and watch clips of Metal Gear Solid 2, you watch clips of Metal Gear Solid 4, you'll see Lolly-Lule-Lo. It's a play from Metal Gear Solid. So if you guys played the video game or you know of the video game, that's where Lolly-Lule-Lo comes from. Who are the Patriots? The Lolly-Lule-Lo. But Josh McDaniels got to figure out what the fuck they trying to do with Mac Jones, because you got either let that brother turn it loose and throw the ball vertically down the field. Try not to be so damn predictable with your goddamn offense, because it's brutal, bruh. It's brutal. They did not do well at all. The ground game was virtually non-existent. After back-to-back games with a decent showing on the ground, this game here was atrocious. Run game was nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. They didn't even try to commit to the run game. They said, fuck it, we're going to have Mac Jones throw. And he threw the ball 51 times, 30 or 51. Bad game for him. Jameis Winston, I don't know how he threw that touchdown to Callaway. I figured that was fixing to be an interception. But, all right, War Dog Leader said Liquid Snake talks to Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid 1 before they fight on top of Metal Gear Rex. I enjoyed that. Good fight. Good fight. I believe that's when you find out if Merrill no, I think that's when you make the decision if no. That's when you find out if Merrill lives or dies. Yeah, I think it's at that moment when you find out if Merrill lived or died. Cause I think if she dies, then Otacon is there. If she lives, then she's there. I think it's at that moment. Yeah, because it's the car chase right after. Yeah, I think it's the car chase right after. And then, Liquid dies outside. Fox die. Yeah, but Jameis got the job done. Jameis got the job done. Alvin Kamara consistent on the ground. But I'm not going to lie to you. Although New Orleans is 2-1, I'm concerned because the wide receiver production isn't there. It's not there. Like Michael Thomas and the dominance that he had on the field with Drew Brees, with him being off the field now, they need somebody to emerge on a consistent basis, because I can guarantee you this, Alvin Kamara will be their leading receiver this year. So it's only a matter of time before they just start saying, yo, let's stack the box, take Kamara away, and force Jameis to beat us. Somebody's going to have to emerge. Somebody's going to have to emerge. Because it's good for now, but it will not last. I was impressed by New Orleans defense, but down the line, the Saints need somebody to emerge for Winston. Because I promise you, although he got that LASIK eye surgery and all the other stuff, only a matter of time before that brother start relapsing. It's only a matter of time, because look at some of the passes he's made. He's been throwing some balls into damn tight windows now. He's been throwing some balls into tight windows. Kudos to the Saints getting the W, but somebody better step up. For the love of God, somebody better step up. This weekend, I believe the Patriots are going to have a hell of a game, and I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. For them playing against the Tampa Bay. I don't think it's fixing to be, a huge blowout like people expect. But good victory by the Saints. Next up, the Atlanta Falcons walking into MetLife Stadium on a night where Eli Manning is getting his jersey retired and he's getting inducted into the Ring of Honor. What happened? The Giants took a lead, then blew it. And the Falcons got their first W of the season. I'll say this about the Giants. Saquon, I said this was supposed to be the game that Saquon Barkley goes off. That wasn't the case. I'm starting to look at Saquon Barkley different. I know we only 3 weeks into the season. This could be a little bit of an overreaction. I'm not one to usually overreact for things. But I'll say this for Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm starting to look at you a little different. Because did you only have, after the injury, is that it for him? Is he done? Is he no longer what he used to be? Is he damaged goods? Because he looks very, very human. Very, very human. I think Hoodie Zay had mentioned it in the chat room yesterday. This is the second consecutive game Daniel Jones ain't turned the football over. And that's rare. It's rare. It's rare that he doesn't turn the football over, and the Giants can't even get it together. I'm really starting to look at Saquon like, I don't think you who you used to be, dog. I don't know. Because Daniel Jones, say what you want about him, he did his job. He did what he had to do. 24, 35, 286 yards. He ain't throw no TDs, but he ain't throw no INTs, and he ain't fumble either. He ain't turned the football over. My thing with Saquon is you've got to be able to break out of the doggone mold. It's crazy. Ray said Philip Lindsay had better years than Saquon. They don't give Lindsay the respect he needs. Well, yeah, but then now look where Lindsay is at. Running back by committee. I know Saquon hurt. I'm going to continue to be patient with him. But now you've got my attention like, you got to do something, brother. Riggs put 5 on it, said, as a Penn State fan, I'm worried Barkley is going to end up like every other Penn State running back that has their career ended with a knee injury. Because if I'm Saquon, let's say they don't extend him with a large contract, go somewhere where the O-line is intact. No, Big Mike, I understand where you're coming from. The O-line is ass. It is. But there are moments where Saquon has spots to win and he's losing. Similar to the same, critique that I had towards Zeke in the game against the Buccaneers. There's moments where you see there's a hole. And 2 years ago, Saquon would have hit that hole full speed and broke that into a big-ass game. But now, that's not there. I'm not saying the burst is not there. Perhaps the vision may start to wane a little bit. I don't know what the deal is. But there's moments where you see, it's a one-on-one battle. You usually win this, and you didn't. That's where I say it's the difference maker. There's a lot. Don't get me wrong. O-line need to play better too. But for Saquon, you look like a transcendent kind of player. And now I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on. For Atlanta, Matt Ryan made history. Matt Ryan made history. 350 touchdowns So that's magnificent for him. I'm happy for him. I'm so happy for him. But you beat the Giants. I'd love to sit here and say, man, it was an amazing sort of performance. Let's go Falcons. Rise up. They go into the promised land. I don't know just yet. But for me, the takeaway for this game is Saquon. I want to see Saquon flourish, man. I want to see Saquon flourish. We're Toxic Falcons fan. Oh, there you are. Toxic Falcons fan in the building. Congratulations, you got yourself a dub, man. Congratulations, you got yourself a dub. Prince said Christian McCaffrey is injured with the Carolina Panthers. Continue to be undefeated. I believe they will not be. I don't either. I spoke about them a little bit earlier. They got to play better. Next up, oh boy, my team. Jesus Christ. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the worst team in the AFC North. Arguably, well, not arguably, but they are in the bottom third of worst teams in the AFC. You got the Jets, Jaguars, Pittsburgh Steelers. We are ass, bro. We are absolute garbage. Terrible. I think the Texans look better than Pittsburgh does. Absolute garbage. Garbage. Cincinnati Bengals played 3 quarters of football on offense, and that was more than enough to walk away with the doggone victory. Jamar Chase cannot be guarded. Could not be guarded. He only had 4 catches. He only needed 2 important ones to find the end zone. Harris had like 14 catches, but Big Ben threw the ball like 15 times from behind the doggone. Like Mans barely did a 3-stretch job. There was like 10 passes behind the line of scrimmage. It's one thing to sit here and say, yo, Big Ben don't got it no more. Nah, it's just that the offensive line is garbage. No. The entire offense is garbage. Najee Harris is the one bright spot. The offensive line, there's not a shred of consistency up there. I can't look at the left tackles, the right tackles, the center, the guards, and say, man, you are kicking ass out here. It's not happening. They're either racking up penalties, they're letting people through and giving up sacks, they're failing to defeat their man on run blocking. Then in the wide receiving core, Chase Claypool will catch a pass and then drop another one. James Washington's getting his snaps here and there. He won't get separation. He should have had a touchdown. Big Ben overthrew him. Ben will mess around and miss somebody, or he'll hold on to the ball a little bit too long and think he's 27. Najee Harris can't find a hole because there's no hole that's there. Juju Smith-Schuster done left with a rib. I feel like if he was still in the game, maybe there's somebody we can depend on. Because say what you want about Juju, he's our most reliable receiver. Deontay Johnson didn't even play because the brother had a knee. Ray McLeod doesn't know a route at all. Offense is abysmal. Eric Ebron can't even get no kinds of separation. Then dropping footballs in the red zone. It's atrocious. Terrible. Riggs for 5-1 said the game was rough. I definitely think Matt Canada was not the answer. I agree, he wasn't. They got to stop hiring people in-house. Get somebody outside. But I understand, you don't want to get somebody outside. It's going to be Ben's last year. But it's brutal, bruh. Defensively, for the first time in 75 games, the Pittsburgh Steelers did not record a sack. They did not record a sack. This had less to do with, in my opinion, and I say it sound crazy, but in my opinion, this had less to do with good Bengals and had more to do with bad Steelers. Because the opportunity was there. It was there. But it had more to do with bad Steelers. And I don't want to hear nothing about, but the injury. No. No. Pittsburgh, we don't make excuses of injuries. We don't. It's next man up, and you've got to win football games. I've talked about the time and time again in the playoffs over the course of the last decade where injuries derailed seasons, but there were still opportunities to win. So I'm not going to play the what-if game at all. Oh, no, you got to play better. You've got to play better. Bottom line. For Cincinnati, the offense looks good. Joe Mixon, 90 yards on the ground. Joe Burrow, 14 of 18, 174 yards, 3 TDs. The lone INT was a ricochet into the air, and it got picked off. The Bengals did their job. The fourth quarter, their offense did a whole lot of nothing, but Pittsburgh couldn't put together a drive to result in touchdowns. You need to play better. What is it now? Like 10 consecutive quarters, Pittsburgh hasn't scored in like the first 10 consecutive game. Pittsburgh ain't scored in the first quarter, some shit like that. Like, I don't understand, bro. I really don't. I don't think they'll have a losing season. Do I think they can bounce back? Absolutely. Because it's still early in the season. I don't think for anybody you got to take the L out of lover and say the season over, brother. Unless you're the Jets. But they can still down the line at one particular bounce back. But my God, you've got to play better. That's all I got to say about it. You got to play better. Tyler Boyd coming out in the media saying Pittsburgh quit. I ain't going to lie to you. I don't want to say they quit. But they should use this as fuel. They should use this as fuel. Alvado, what? This brother typing it. Is that Spanish? I can't read it, brother. But I'm confident down the line because the AFC North is a very competitive sort of division. So I'm sure Pittsburgh down the line they'll figure it out. I'm confident they'll figure it out at one particular point. Mahmoud before on and said the Giants defensive coordinator sucks ass. Ryan milked the clock easily, ain't he? Ain't he do that, huh? You also performed on it earlier and said Jameis needs to stop that, throw it up, and hope for the best shit. Indeed, he's the epitome of yo fuck it. I know somebody down there. But I know they'll turn it around because over the course of Ben's whole career, at one particular point with a rough patch, they've always been able to figure it out. But the downside of everything is for Pittsburgh, the goal is Super Bowl or bust. It's not win the division and you're comfortable. It's Super Bowl or bust. So the way they look right now, Super Bowl is not a possibility at all. Hell, playoffs don't even look like it's a possibility. Third in the division don't even look like it's a possibility. You've got to figure it out. Bottom line. Bottom line. That's all I got to say about them. Next up, Jacksonville and Arizona. Jacksonville swerved all of us, didn't they? Jacksonville swerved the fuck out of all of us, didn't they? After that, Jonathan Agnew 109-yard return after the missed field goal. Ain't we start to look at this game like, Jacksonville might just walk away with a W here over the Cardinals. Steelers saying Jedi Patu said, "What's the last game the what's the last game the Steelers scored first?" Shit, I couldn't tell you. Last game the Steelers scored first? Shit, I couldn't tell you. But I thought I ain't get to Seattle yet. Seattle is coming up in a couple of games. But the Cardinals and Jags, this is just the epitome of a team that's used to winning and a team that's used to losing. They had me in a genjutsu. I said, wait a minute now. Agnew took it to the crib. I believe at that particular point it was 19-16. I was like, wait a minute. Hold on now. Things are getting interesting here. The Cardinals are struggling. Kyler Murray's not looking too good. Arizona scored first. They scored 7. Jacksonville equaled up the score. Of course, they had a pick 6. They missed the extra point. Agnew took the kick return for a score. And all of a sudden, we were like, wait a minute. Yo, it's getting close. Wait a minute. Yo, the Jags might win. James Conner for a touchdown. Pick 6 in the end zone. James Conner for a touchdown. It's 31-19. God, dog. Cardinals offense is too goddamn high powered. DeAndre Hopkins ain't have a good game at all. This man was a damn healthy scratch off the motherfucking stat sheet. 3 catches, 21 yards. He did a whole lot of nothing. A.J. Green, 5 catches, 112 yards. Christian Captain Kirk, who I believe is a solid number 2 receiver, with 7 catches for 104 yards. They did a hell of a job. Daniel Taylor, Brandon Taylor put 2 on it. Said, did I see Daniel Jones truck that D tackle? Yes, I did. Lowered that shoulder. Put the boom on that brother. Big Mike put 5 on it, pardon me. Said, I'm at my weekday job getting paid to watch YouTube. So I'm going to give you some for the great content. I appreciate that. Your content is incredible. Keep it up. I appreciate that, brother. Distraught XL put 5 on. Said, I don't care what anybody says. Bucks should be 1-2 and the Rams are looking like the real deals. Indeed they are. They are the best team in the NFL. But for the Jags, my God, can you finish a game, please? Another game, another multi-interception performance from Trevor Lawrence. He's going for Peyton Manning's record. He's going for Peyton Manning's record. He's going for Peyton Manning's record. I think by the end of this year, he's going to have Peyton Manning's interception record. He will have Peyton Manning's interception record. That fourth quarter from the Jags had to be one of the worst fourth quarters I've seen from a team this season. Terrible performance in that fourth quarter. Terrible performance in that fourth quarter. The 3 and out was terrible. The fumble on their second to last drive was abysmal. After they couldn't block for Lawrence. And then ultimately on the final, goddamn play of the damn game, there was another fumble. Like, that fourth quarter was brutal. It was bad. It was bad. They didn't play well. And Urban Meyer got to figure it out because I don't think he's fixing to have his job next year if they continue to perform like this. And speaking of the Jets, Jets fans, let me ask you a question. Did Denver use KY jelly, water-based lube, silicone-based lube, Vaseline, lotion? What kind of condom? Or was it raw dog? Because y'all got fucked. Completely. Blanketed. Zero. Y'all got fucked. Teddy Trolls lived near the Bridgewater, had another solid game. 19 to 25. 235 yards. He didn't throw a touchdown. Didn't throw an interception. On the ground, Melvin Gordon found the end zone. Flash. Javonte Williams found the end zone. Put the ball on the ground, though. That was the only positive thing the Jets did all day. Was force an irrelevant fumble at the end of the game. The score was already, 23-0? Jeff put 5 on and said, God loves you all. This is football. Hope you all have fun with it. I appreciate that. Let's take a look at the Jets' drive. 4 plays and a punt. Right? They didn't pass the 25. 3 and out. Then they had 12 plays and a punt inside of Denver territory. Right? Then 3 plays and a punt. Another 3 and out. Then the end of the half, they didn't even pass their own 20. They opened up the second half with a 3 and out. After that drive, they didn't even pass their own 35. Freaking like 5 and out, 6 and out, or whatever the deal was. Then went down the field. They made it to Denver territory. Incomplete pass, turnover on downs. Zach Wilson, interception. Turnover on downs, they didn't even make it into Denver territory. Interception of motherfucking again at the end of the game. Why are the Jets so abysmal? Why are the Jets so abysmal? Zach Wilson got sacked 5 times. Man got hit 9 times. Did not have a good outing at all, as Cartman would say. Brutal, bruh. Wilson's got 7 INTs already. If I'm not mistaken, he's tied with Trevor Lawrence for the tie at the top of the league. Marcus, you're right. For the Jets, they need some law enforcement out there. I know for a fact, every single game, this man Zach Wilson out there screaming like,
Police! Police! Help! Police! Help! Police! Help! Help! Police! Help!
Where we come from,
Where we come from,
we are the police.
we are the police,
The police of Haiti.
the police of Haiti.
Nice, nice Haiti.
Nice, nice Haiti.
Beautiful Haiti.
Beautiful Haiti.
Sweetie, sweetie Haiti.
City, city Haiti.
Sweetie, sweetie.
City, city.
Sweetie, sweetie.
City, city.
Sweetie, sweetie Haiti.
City, city Haiti.
Oh, God.
it's brutal, bruh. It's brutal. Every week, Zach Wilson throwing an INT. Every week, Zach Wilson under duress. Offensive line not blocking for him either. You thought Justin Fields was bad. Shit, it was bad. It was actually worse this week. Zach Wilson, shit. I bet Zach Wilson looking at Justin Fields like, hey, me getting sacked 5 times, maybe it ain't that bad after all. But my God, The Jets are it's an atrocity to watch them play football. Denver's 3-0, but I'm curious to see how they play down the line. But Denver, congrats on a win. Teddy, two gloves. Trolls live near the Bridgewater. He looks good. I like it. I like it a lot. When I came down, put 2 on it. Said the Jags stand for just ass, gonna suck. Well, there it is. I mean, that sounds like what people who enjoy analingus would do. All I know is for the Jets and the Jags, I know they fans feel all kinds of pain because when you get done with their game, you be laying on the floor like.
What's wrong, okay?
When I came down, I'm trying to make y'all understand what I'm saying.
Next up, Miami and Las Vegas. Let me tell you something right now. The Raiders are legit. I don't care what nobody say. The Raiders are legit. But again, the same critique that I've had with them for the last 3 seasons. I don't care about anything Raiders football. I don't care about nothing Raiders football until November 1st. That's when the Raiders season officially begins. I don't care about anything Raiders until November 1st. They can be 8-0 come week 9. I don't give a shit. Please, the second half of the season, show me the same thing. I ain't got to say nothing about Las Vegas until November 1st. I do not care about the first half of the season for the Raiders at all. They look impressive. They're a top 4 team in the NFL. Derek Carr is right now himself, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford, leading candidates for MVP. But for the Raiders, keep this same energy in the second half of the season, please. Please. Whoa, no. Choctaw, yes it is. Yes, they are. They are legit. The Raiders are playing very good football. They are not a fluke. They are not a fluke. The Raiders are not a fluke. They are playing good football. Give them their credit. The Raiders are not a fluke. We're only 3 weeks into the season, but they've played very good football. They played very good football. Give the Raiders their credit. They played very good football. They are for real, as Chris Benoit would say. Peyton Barber had a hell of a game on the ground. I wish it was Josh Jacobs, but Peyton Barber had a hell of a game on the ground, 111 yards. Played very, very good football. No, I want to say, I forgot to say Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is playing very good football as well. Josh Allen is also, in the MVP conversation as well. I mean, it's all over the place right now. It's only week 3. Vagabond, Pafavon says, sorry I'm late. Have we talked about my Packers yet? Not yet. We got 3 more games and we at the Packers. But, the Raiders are playing very good football. We're talking about the Rams and Bucs up next. Jacoby Brissett, I'll say this. I appreciate the resiliency because the Dolphins jumped out to a 14-0 lead and they gave up 25 unanswered points. 25 unanswered points. And then all of a sudden they had a surge late in the 4th quarter and remembered how to play football. I don't know if the Dolphins unplugged their own controller. Whatever the case was, it took them a while to figure it out. Like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, we playing football. Let's mess around and get it together. And they was able to force overtime. But I'll say this, and I talked about it in the commentary. Who the fuck is Brian Edwards? And why does he only show up in overtime? This man is never on the stat sheet. But when overtime happens, number 89 turns into number 80, and it's 2002 because that's a 39-year-old Jerry Rice. That brother comes to life in OT. I promise you, and I say this, I've been saying the same shit since I was in high school. That brother don't drive automatic. He's got the clutch in the car. That brother clutch. That brother is clutch. He is an overtime god. With all of the enunciation. Native critic Pafavon said, "Love how Derek Vehicle and my Gruden. I love how Derek Vehicle and my Gruden grinders. How they played. Love your videos and keep up the great videos, brother. I appreciate that." Frank T put 10 on it. Said, Adonis. Oh, good Lord. This man done wrote everything in Creole. Golly. Sotina Haiti. Memrete nan NYC. Aet content. Ukisa NY Giants. Kaka shit comme ça. Oh, gosh, man. When Fashe son wrote it in Creole. Yeah. John said, so translation, why is the Giants such utter shit? I appreciate you, brother. That's a Zoe out there. Where's my Haitian flag? It's actually over here. Can I get it? No, I can't. Actually, I think it's in here. No, it's not. God damn it. Where's my Haitian flag? I can't find it. But yeah, my man done wrote it in Creole. That's my guy. But yeah, I'll say this: the Giants, they garbage, man. They just utter garbage. That's all I can say about that. But salute to you, brother. Salute to you. Brian Flores, Patano said, Gruden grinders, baby. 615 random goat. Put 2 on. Said, I missed you talking about the Saints, but who that? Divine Caldwell put 5 on. Said, if you could have chose a specific heel character to play, comedic, monster, which one would I play? Probably it'd be a mix between both, but probably comedic because I could pull that off easily. But for the, I got to ban Excite. What's wrong with Excite? Well, we still trying to ban Excite even today? What's Excite talking about? He's still being sus? Stop being sus, Excite. But the Raiders, they playing all right. Miami, I'm still concerned, but this was a good showing for them. Even in a loss, Jacoby Brissett showcased that he can play. He could play football. He still showcased he can play football. But for the Raiders, I like the way that they look. I'm saying right now they got the Adonis stamp of being legit. But the second half of the season, come November 1st, I want to see the exact same energy. They need to play the same. That's what I need. I need them to play the same with the same sort of passion, the same sort of consistency, the same sort of effectiveness and efficiency. That's what we need. That's what we need from the Raiders. A huge win for the Gruden Grinders. And somebody I don't know what the deal is. Somebody get the DNA. Draw some blood of Brian Edwards and find out why the hell he comes alive in overtime. It's crazy, bro. Next up, game of the week. Tampa Bay and Los Angeles. What I tell you? I told you guys the Rams was going to win. I told you guys the Rams going to win. Malik Cook said, what the hell's wrong with your Colts? I talked about it earlier. They suck in the red zone. Play calling is absolutely abysmal. They suck in the red zone. Absolutely suck in the red zone. They got to get it together. That's why they garbage. All right, that's why they haven't won a game yet. But for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, hello, they couldn't slow down the Rams. They could not slow down the Rams. Let me first say this. Desean Jackson, best deep threat in NFL history. But what about Randy Moss? No, Desean Jackson, best deep threat in NFL history. Damn right I said it. I said coming into the year, the Rams are my pick to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, and I'm holding that same shit. I will not change it. Next up, Cooper Kupp is a bad man. That's a bad man. That brother murdered Carlton Davis. Put that man in a goddamn blender. Keyshawn, put 2 on it. Much love, brother. He put Carlton Davis in a blender. They could not guard that man at all. What about Cliff Branch? He was a pretty good deep threat. Can't forget about Lance Allworth. He was pretty doggone good too. No, don't tell me about none of them. Don't tell me about none of them. What about John Stallworth? Nope. I don't want to hear it. Desean Jackson, best deep threat in NFL history. Best deep threat in NFL history. But my God, Cooper Kupp, ridiculous. Ridiculous. They could not guard this man. There's a reason why he leads the league in yards after the catch since like 2017, 2018. 2 girls, 1 cup is freaking all over the damn field. No filter, brothers. Said salute from the boot. Wait, you in Italy? Jose, put 5 on it. Much love. Jeff said NFL history, Justin Tucker. Oh, yeah, best kicker. He's going to go down as the greatest kicker of all time. But unfortunately, Adam Vinatieri got all them goddamn, all them moments. Yes, I put Desean Jackson as a better deep threat than Moss. I'm sorry. Because let's be honest, this is all that D-Jax can do. Moss could do a little bit more, but this all D-Jax can do, and they still can't stop him. They still can't stop him. I'm giving it to D-Jax because he's doing it in what, year 13? Year 13 for Moss? Not the same anymore. Year 13 for D-Jax, it's still there. Who's got the most Who's got the most 60-yard touchdowns, receptions? D-Jax. Who's got the most 50-yard, 50-plus yard touchdowns? D-Jax. 40-yard, D-Jax. Deshaun is the best deep threat of all time. Bullet Bob Hayes was pretty doggone good as well. Randy Moss is probably the most prolific. But when you look at the numbers and look strictly on deep ball, D-Jax got it. D-Jax got it. He ain't going to go to the Hall of Fame, though. But D-Jax got it. Cooper Kupp, Desean Jackson, difference maker. Sony Michel ain't really do too much on the ground, but that's going to be huge as the season continues. Believe me, watch how the running game evolves for them. And I'll say this, last thing about the Rams. Matthew Stafford, I told you guys, man, this is why I wanted to have Stafford in Pittsburgh. Stafford, away from Detroit, you see how good he is. Motherfuckers thought Stafford was overrated in Detroit. Oh, he just picks up a bunch of stat. He's a stat patter. All right. Stafford looks magnificent. Now, let's talk about that defense of the Rams. People talk about Aaron Donald never gets sacks. Look at he's overrated. People who don't know football talk about Aaron Donald being overrated. You guys are wilding. This man was a difference maker all doggone day. You double team him, he's still pushing penetration. It's crazy. Tom Brady barely had time back there to breathe. He only got sacked 3 times. There was 5 quarterback hits and damn near 13 hurries. That brother was under duress all goddamn game. There was no run game. Let me tell you something. When Tom Brady is your leading rusher, you're going to have a bad time. Tom Brady ran the football for 14 yards. The next running back, that being, I say next running back like Tom Brady's a running back. The next guy, Ronald Jones, only 5 carries for 11 yards. They didn't even try to run a Leonard Fournette. What was that? Put 5 on it. Morgan Taylor put 5 on it, said, I've been waiting to jump on Stafford bandwagon. Is it Tom? He making my man Kupp look like a top 5 receiver in the league. Mikey Mike put 5 on it, said, Cooper Kupp, that's how the white man runs the football. Ain't that the truth? Whoa. Let's not say that about Robert Woods. Let's not say Robert Woods non-existent yet, because I can guarantee you, watch next week, Robert Woods mess around and go over 100. I guarantee you. Over the course of the next 2 weeks, there's going to be a game. Robert Woods is going to be over 120 yards. I guarantee you that. Rampage put 5 on it. Said Stafford and Kupp connecting for about 50 to 60 points a week on fantasy. Ain't that something? Tampa not even trying to run the football. And I talked about this before. I'm like, yo, they just going to let it be the Brady show. Brady might have some of the best statistics at the conclusion of this year, but it's at the behest of them, sacrificing their run game. He was 41 of 55, 432 yards and a TD. Brady played a good game. Mike Evans, surprisingly, had 8 catches for 106 yards. I did not think Mike Evans was going to have a good game. But Jalen Ramsey wasn't flanking him every single play. They had Evans on the move. I thought they was going to leave Evans and Jalen Ramsey one-on-one because Antonio Brown wasn't playing this game. So since Antonio Brown was out, I thought the Rams was going to leave Ramsey following Mike Evans around and then make Chris Godwin, Tyler Johnson, and Rob Gronkowski and company have to beat you. Gronk, he left the game. He came back, of course, but he was pretty much a non-factor. Young Grooch put 2 on it. Said Stafford is the best QB since Warner and could pass him. The best QB the Rams had since Warner? I'd say since Mark Bulger. Because Bulger had a couple good seasons. But yeah, it's fair to say Warner. But the Rams looked very exceptional. For Tampa Bay, this ain't nothing but a hiccup. It ain't nothing but a hiccup. The better team won. You just regroup, get your stuff together, and down the line, maybe you can mess around and have things work out in your favor. The better team won. That's all you can say about this game. The better team won. The Rams were head and shoulders the better team. And this was a huge-ass win for them. Next up, I'll say this. Vikings and Seahawks. What the hell happened to Seattle after they took a 17-7 lead? Somebody tell me what happened to Seattle after they took a 17-7 lead. Minnesota goes down the field, and of course, it's the white man connection that put them in a situation to go and cut their deficit to 3. Seattle go down the field. They miss a field goal. Minnesota go right back down the field. They score a touchdown. We go into the second half. Let me tell you what happened to Seattle in the second half. 5 and out. 5 and out. 5 plays, turnover on downs. End of the game. What the hell happened to the offense? I'll tell you. They couldn't block. Whatsoever, they could not block. They played like garbage. Could not block, couldn't open up holes, couldn't give Russell Wilson enough time. They played like garbage. The run game was all right here and there. Woo, Chris Carson, yay, looks all right. Second half came, offense was garbage. Offense was garbage. Defense said, we not playing no more. Wait, they got the crab legs in Saints huddle. They had crab legs in the Saints huddle. I didn't see that. I didn't see the clip. Oh, matter of fact, let me pull that up. I had to pull that up somewhere. Let me save it. Jameis, Saints huddle. Let me say that just so I could check after the fact. I'll probably put it in a later video, but I don't think I got the Jameis stuff. But nevertheless, Seattle, garbage down the line. Like, how the fuck you play through a quarter and a half? They played good football. Through a quarter and a half, they played good football. I talked about the Bears already. Through a quarter and a half, they played good football. And then straight up garbage. Alexander Madison? What a game. First off, Quandre Diggs is in the death note right now. That brother got ran the fuck over, bro. That brother got ran the fuck over. Man, put him in the death note. Leave him on the L train. Seahawks played like bums. They was up by 10 and it completely left the doggone game. They must have rage quit, thinking that they thought the Vikings would rage quit. So they messed around and left to go get a pizza. But they got caught in traffic. And by the time they came back, they done gave up 23 unanswered points. Garbage. Garbage. We got to give out the game ball, though. Kirk family member Cousins, you talk about a hell of a performance. He got that done. I wish that game was in prime time. 30 of 38, 323 yards, 3 TDs. The man played efficient, played smart, played well. Justin Jefferson, first 100-yard game of the season. Adam Thielen, yet another touchdown. 18 straight games. 18 games, 18 touchdowns. I don't want to say 18 straight games with a touchdown because that's not the case. But 18 games for Adam Thielen. The last 18 games, he's got 18 touchdowns. Minnesota came to play down the stretch, and the moment they took the lead, they did not look back. Seattle in the second half did not know. They didn't look like they knew how to play football no more, bro. They didn't look like they knew how to play football no more. So give Kirk Cousins his credit. And you know what? Dragoon, you right. If the Vikings were undefeated and they didn't shoot themselves in the foot in week 1, if they didn't mess around and miss a field goal in week 2, and the Vikings are undefeated, Kirk family member Cousins is in the MVP conversation. Kirk Cousins is in the MVP conversation. So, Kelsey, you said it. Kirk Cousins, I like that. I like that. Next up, Sunday Night Football. Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers. Let me tell you this much. Packers defense, y'all ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit. 17-0 lead. Y'all completely fold in the last drive of the first half. Second half comes around. Y'all motherfuckers can't put together a stop. Couple sacks here and there, but that had less to do with good Packers and more to do with bad 49ers. But Aaron Rodgers, as Stephen A. Smith would say, that's a bad man. In a game where, let's be honest here, Aaron Jones had 82 yards on the ground. It didn't feel like he had 82 yards on the ground. Aaron Rodgers was 23 of 33, 261 yards with 2 TDs. Davante Adams, that brother is built different. 12 catches, 132 yards, and a TD. That brother got knocked the fuck out the game. Came back 2 plays later. How? Because he different. How? Make it make sense. Ain't nobody try to guard this man at all. Yeah, I talked about Washington already. We on the primetime game, so you guys would have to go a little bit further back. Why the hell San Francisco went and said, yo, we taking the points. Yo, we scored. Woo, we got the lead. 37 seconds left on the clock. Very first play from scrimmage. Aaron Rodgers, 25-yard pickup to Davante Adams in the middle of the field. How does Davante Adams, who at that particular point was at about 80-some yards, how does he get that wide open? Oh, but Aaron just threw a better ball. No. He was in the middle of the zone that you guys were running. The ball went right over the head of Fred Warner. How does Davante Adams get that wide open? What was the coverage? We're running the prevent defense. Only thing prevent does is prevent you from winning. The only thing it does is prevent you from winning. Then, 3 plays later, following the spike and an incompletion, Davante Adams strikes again. Runs about a 14-yard dig route. How does he keep getting open? If you're going to run a zone, okay. You want to run a zone? Okay. Run a zone with the remaining 9 players. Run man on the backside with the 2 players guarding Adams, because why is Adams running into a soft coverage in the zone? What are you guys doing? What the hell was San Francisco doing down the stretch? I don't understand it. The Packers completely fall apart to where you guys can go down the field, mess around and get yourselves the lead. And then last possession, y'all forget how to cover? What? Let's talk a little bit earlier. Jimmy Garoppolo almost gave the game away. Because, I see the defender coming, I'm about to take a sack. Rather than tuck the ball back into his body, he puts the ball out like this and forces himself in a situation where he loses grip of the football. Tuck the football. Don't do this. Tuck the football. He don't even need to do all that turn and shit. Tuck the football. You can't throw the football behind you. That's a fumble. Jimmy Garoppolo literally almost gave the game away. It's not that he got hit and lost the ball. No, he literally, and you'll see it in the commentary later tonight, he threw the ball backwards. Tuck the football. Just do this. You had the ball here, bring the ball here. That's it. Take the sack. Don't try to, let me turn my whole body. Like, look at the torque that he put into his hip. What are you doing? If Aaron Rodgers put that football in front of Davante Adams, this is now a 10-point game. We're not even talking about, the late catches. But Rodgers gave Davante a bad ball because he was hoping the referees would call pass interference, which if I'm not mistaken, there was 4 pass interference calls for like a total of 120 yards between both teams on Sunday night. Come on, dog. We need to change the rules. Pass interference does not need to be a spot foul. It doesn't need to be a spot foul. Make it a 15-yard penalty like face mask, because this is getting ridiculous. This is really getting ridiculous. How the hell does 4 pass interference calls go over a total of 120 yards? It's crazy, bro. That don't make no sense. That's crazy. David G in the building put 5 on. Said biggest takeaway from this season, in my opinion, is that teams without consistent pass rush or secondary can't be considered a contender. I.e. the Bucs and the Chiefs right now. Hey, it's still early though. They could get it together. It's still early. It's crazy, bro. I don't understand what the mindset is here with the 49ers and how the hell you did this to yourself. Because say what you want. They fought their way all the way back. They took the lead. The Packers messed around and gave them an opportunity to go and win the game. And then what happened? You run a prevent defense, give up 2 play. Mind you, the only production that the Packers had in that final drive was Devontae Adams. It was Rodgers and Devontae Adams. That's it. First play, Aaron Rodgers, 25 yards to Devontae Adams. Spike the ball. Pass incomplete to Devontae Adams. 17-yard gain to Devontae Adams. Spike the ball. Call timeout, San Francisco. Let's ice the kicker. Mason Crosby for the game-winning kick. How? 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 Who's Aaron Rodgers' number 1 target? Devontae Adams. How does he beat you? It's ridiculous, bro. 49ers, put your motherfucking head back down. Y'all don't deserve to be undefeated, bro. Y'all don't deserve to be undefeated. Aaron Rodgers gets it done once again. That brother balling. Marcus, before I want to say, make PI like college. Inside 15, spot foul. After that, 15 yard. You know what? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I love how I have Mustafa Saeed as the thumbnail on Hot Mic. But my God, come on, dog. Crosby being clutch. This is now, he's 4 for 4 since 2019 in the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes of the game for go-ahead or game-tying field goals. But you know what's crazy? He's missed 4 in his career because Aaron Rodgers is 4. Well, now he's 5 of 13 in games where, you know, putting his team in a situation to win in the final 2 minutes. I don't think it's 5 of 13. I think that was with his completions. I can't remember. Whatever the case may be. Crosby's missed 4 game-winning kicks or game-tying kicks in his career. Derek, before on it, said, is Washington a playoff team if they trade for Matt Ryan? Yes. Yes. Absolutely, yes. And last but not least, Philadelphia Eagles and Dallas Cowboys. The Eagles coaching staff. This is from me to you. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Miles Sanders has 2 carries. How? Miles Sanders has 2 carries. Jalen Hurts gets to run 9 times. Miles Sanders has 2 carries. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Devontae Smith dropping footballs. Are you kidding me? Dallas Goedert is your leading receiver off of 2 catches. His catch in the first half that put them inside Philly territory, into Cowboys territory. Where did that lead to? Interception. Think about it. Look at the deja vu. First play for Philly in the first half. Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert. Woo! We're in Cowboys territory. Very next Jalen Hurts throw. Interception, Anthony Brown. Let's fast forward. We're going to the second half. Here comes Jalen Hurts. There's Dallas Goedert down on the left side of the field. We're in Dallas Cowboys territory. Very next, Jalen Hurts throw. Woo! Trevon Diggs. Can I get a McPick 6? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Philadelphia ain't shit. Philadelphia defense was able to bail them out because Anthony Brown caught the pick, but he just so happened to fall at the 1-yard line. Had he fallen into the end zone, can we sit here and say Fletcher Cox had a fumble recovery touchdown after Hargrave done pushed the motherfucking center right into Dak? Probably not. Philly played like garbage on every aspect of the game, dog. Every aspect of the game. Eagles played like trash. I got a little high on the Eagles after they beat the Falcons. I shouldn't have did that. I should have seen the writing on the wall. I should have not allowed myself to get caught in the feather illusion jutsu. I shouldn't have allowed myself to get caught in the genjutsu because that's exactly what Philly was doing to everybody. Y'all played like absolute garbage, bruh. Honcho put 20 on it. Said my Eagles going to have a top 5 pick. Our next 4 games are the Chiefs, Panthers, Bucks, Raiders. My God, that's about it. With that play calling, expect 4 L's. With that kind of play calling, expect 4 L's. The decision-making by Jalen Hurts was abysmal. Abysmal. And it's not even like the brother had time because the offensive line wasn't blocking nobody either. But what I don't understand, why does Miles Sanders only get 2 carries? What? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's take a look at the score because it's not as if this game was blown wide open straight out the gate. It was a tie game, 7-7, right? Dallas goes down the field. Dak scores a touchdown that the referees call of him participating of the Frank Costanza challenge and stopping short when it should have been a touchdown. Philly, being at the 1-yard line, can't even get out of their own end zone. Dallas scores a touchdown there. Philly comes back on the field. Here's what the plays were. Jalen Hurts passes the ball to Miles Sanders for a 9-yard gain. Woo! Miles Sanders, positive production. Maybe we should run it. Jalen Hurts tries to run by himself. Negative 2 yards. All right, 3rd and 3. Jalen Hurts tries to find, Zachary Ertz. Doesn't work. Ertz. Didn't work. Ertz. Don't work. Punt. Very next drive. Dallas scores. Here comes Philly. Miles Sanders gets the football. Good things happen. 24-yard gain. What happens next? Oh, Jalen Hurts is going to run towards the right. All right, 2-yard gain. Let's give the ball to Miles Sanders again. Picks up positive yardage. That's now 3. All right, 3rd and 5. Incomplete pass. Okay. Dallas don't score. Philly gets the football back with 3:57. You make this a long drive. This is the last drive of the half. What happens on this drive here? Jalen Hurts takes the snap. He runs. 3-yard gain. Why are you running? If you're going to run the football, give it to goddamn Miles Sanders. Passes the ball to Jalen Reagor. He passes the ball to Devontae Smith. They move the chains, right? Here comes the terrible blocking. Jalen Hurts gets sacked. Negative 11, right? He's got Quez Watkins, but guess what? It's a hold. This is where all the penalties came from. It's a hold. 2-minute warning. It's 2nd and 31. Of course they're going to fucking punt. First drive of the second half. Motherfucking pick 6. They come out after this. At this point, they down by 20. It's the second half. You already know they're not going to give the football to Miles Sanders no more. It's clipped now. It's going to be the Jalen Hurts show. And every single drive, Jalen Hurts tried to scramble and run. You would have thought this brother was Fran Tarkenton. Every single drive, man's tried to tuck the football and run. It literally was, my first read not there, fuck it, I'm running. That's literally what it was. I don't know what they doing in practice, but if Jalen Hurts' first read not there, he's tucking the football and he's running. It's brutal, bud. It's brutal. You're not going to survive like that. That's what Lamar Jackson was looking like in his first season. My first read not there, let me tuck the football and run. It's brutal. Bad, very bad. Let me say this about Dallas. Dak Prescott, 21 of 26, 238 yards, 3 TDs. Magnificent game. Regardless of the fact that he was sacked 4 times. Magnificent game. Ezekiel Elliott, 95 yards on the ground, 2 TDs. This was by far Zeke's best game. And you know what's crazy? Tony Pollard still looked exceptional. 11 carries, 60 yards. They still splitting carries. If I'm Zeke, I need to keep this as momentum. Last week, he had a good game too, 77 yards. But guess what? Tony Pollard had 100. It's a two-headed monster in Dallas. But guess what? That actually spells disaster for Zeke because that now makes him expendable. He better show up every week, every single week with this same kind of performance. Amari Cooper was damn near a non-factor. Dalton Schultz, whenever Dak needed him, he found him. He had 2 touchdowns. CeeDee Lamb with a great catch early in the game, and then he was virtually, not non-factor. Cedric Wilson with a magnificent catch. Unfortunately, he only got 1 foot down, so it didn't count. But he had a hell of a, extending the play, getting himself open for a touchdown late in the 4th quarter, which was the final touchdown of the game. But Dallas dominated on offense and on defense. RG, put 5 on and said we going 15-1, and then we going undefeated to the playoffs, and then we win the Super Bowl. We them boys. You got to be kidding me, bruh. If I'm Philly, I got to feel ashamed. Because not only is the play calling bad, you're also undisciplined. 13 penalties, bruh. Not only did you lose the time of possession, because obviously you never ran the football, so you didn't retain the football. Or I should say keep up time on the clock. Let alone get completions like that, because that wasn't the case. But you had 13 penalties. Shot yourself in the foot all night. All night. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, bro. Philly looked like absolute garbage. And had it not been for the New York Giants, Philly would have been the worst team in the NFC East. Washington don't look that good, but let me tell you something. If Washington played against Philly, give me Washington. I'll say that right now. Give me Washington. Distraught, put 5 on and say, let Miles Sanders let Miles Sanders the ball. Let him run the ball. That creates a lot of opportunities. But what do I know? They won't listen. I'm just a fan. Give the football to Miles Sanders. This next game, homie better get at least 15 carries. He better get at least 15 carries because this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I tell the Eagles right now what needs to happen. They need to bring in a disgraced eat that pussy 445 and make that motherfucker sit on every single member of that team. Bottom line, that's what needs to happen. Because they played like utter garbage. And guess what? Now, going into week 4, their adversary, who is now the number 1 team in the NFC East, is sitting pretty at the top of the division. Why? Because we them boys. We got Dick. We got Zeke. Amari Cooper. Derry Hayden. Thielen. Dalton Schultz. Blake Jarwin. We them boys. On the defensive side, we got Trevon Diggs. We got Anthony Brown. We got Dalen Smith. Tank Lawrence, we them boys. Can't forget about the fact that our team leaders have a television show. How many other team leaders have a television show? None of them have a television show because we better than them. I sing to you right now. Cry, eagle, cry on the way to misery. Cry, eagle, cry. We beat you down 1, 2, 3. Cry, eagle, cry. Y'all ain't shit. We made sure the world see. Cry, eagle, cry. The L train is your future, stupid bitches. We better than you, pussy. We them boys. We gonna win Super Bowls this year. They gonna win all the Super Bowls this year. Telling you. The Cowboys is playing immaculate football. In the NFC East, of course. Hell, you can make the argument they could have been 3-0. But then boys is going to win the damn division. That's what it's looking like right now. But bottom line, to every team that happened to walk away with a W, congratulations. You guys are victors. All right? You guys are victors. For the losers, never forget to take out your Metro card and get aboard the L train. Because y'all played like garbage. So nevertheless, I say all that to say, that is my recap of week 3. And I'll tell you right now, these are my top 5 teams in the NFL. I'll say this right now. This is where I think teams should be ranked if we're looking at a top 5, right? So, number 1 is the Los Angeles Rams. I have them slotted as number 1 in the league. I do not think there is a team that is playing better football than the Los Angeles Rams right now. They are definitely the best team in the league. I think we can all agree they are the best team in the league. Number 2, I really want to put the Raiders, but I'd be remiss if I did not keep it as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay, they still look very exceptional. Tampa Bay still looks very, 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 very exceptional. I would still keep them at number 2 if we're talking about best teams in the league. I would keep Tampa, regardless of the fact that they lost. They're no longer undefeated. I'd put them number 2. Tampa is number 2 for me as it pertains to when we're looking at the power poll, power rankings. I got them number 2. Number 3, give me the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders. They are number 3 in the league. Yes, I got them higher than the Arizona Cardinals because they number 4. But give me the Las Vegas Raiders at 3. I put them at 3. That's my list, not your list. My list. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders at 3. I like it. I like them. I believe in the Gruden Grinders, but I want to see how they play second half of the season. Give me the Raiders at 3. I got them over the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they're number 4 for me. Cardinals are number 4 for me. I believe in the Gruden Grinders, goddammit. I believe in the Gruden Grinders. They find way to win football games. Number 4, give me the Arizona Cardinals. Number 4, give me the Arizona Cardinals. I think they've got better football to be played. They had a hiccup this week. They had a huge hiccup this week. But give me the Cardinals at number 4. Number 5, Kansas City Chiefs are still loose. I can't kick them out. I can't kick them out the top 5 because they still are the most irrelevant. They are still the most score irrelevant team that exists there. I got them at number 5. So that's my top 5. I got the Rams, Bucks, Raiders, Cardinals, Chiefs. That is there. That is my top 5. That is my top 5. At 6, give me the Packers. 7, I would say, 6, give me the Packers. 7, it's like a coin flip between the Bills. It's really a coin flip between the Bills, Browns, and Ravens because I don't know where I would put them. The Bills, Browns, and Ravens, all them motherfuckers is freaking tied at 7. All 3 of them motherfuckers is tied at 7 for me. And then ultimately, I guess rounding out the 10, because if those 3 are there, it'd be 7, 8, 9, and then at 10, my phone is almost falling. That's why I'm jumping. And then at 10, I'd have to put the I'd put the Chargers. Oh no, I can't disrespect Carolina. I'd have to have Carolina up there as well. They're undefeated as well. But Kansas City is still a beast. Kansas City is still a beast. So I'll put that. That is my top 5. I got Rams, Bucks, Raiders, Cardinals, Chiefs. That is my top 5. Let me know in the comment section once we get done with the stream, what is your top 5? I appreciate you rocking with me. I'm fixing to go over and head to the gym. Commentary is dropping tonight at 10. If you guys need the link to the commentary, here it is right here. Fixing to put it in the chat right now. If you guys did not get a chance to see, the premiere is up. There it is right there. So stay tuned. In approximately 2 hours, the video will be live. I know I just spammed the shit out of my own chat. But there it is right there. Head over. Just make sure you keep an eye open for the commentary here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you rocking with me. I have been your host, the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis. Somebody check on Justin Fields. That brother gonna need some goddamn Ben Gay. I will see you in the premiere of the Week 3 primetime game highlight commentary. I appreciate you guys. We're going live tomorrow to preview Week 4.